Hello friends, and welcome to a winterween reading vlog. This is a readathon hosted by Gabby Reads. If you participate in Summerween or you know what Summerween is, it's basically a similar idea. It just takes place during winter. And I decided to participate. I'm very excited. I think this is going to be so much fun. I have my TBR kind of planned out, and it is day one, so I do have time to mix things up and change things if I decide to not go with what I've decided on. I am a mood reader, so it's kind of hard for me to plan out TBRs. I feel like I change my mind very quickly with reading, so these are just the books that I'm thinking about, and I do want to read these ones, so hopefully I do actually stick to this TBR. But the book that I'm actually currently reading already, I started it last night. This is Nestlings by Nat Cassidy. I was trying to finish this before Winterween actually started, and I didn't really get to it before the readathon started, so I'm kind of slipping it in here. I'm gonna use it for the reading in the dark prompt. One, I read at night pretty much every single day, so it kind of just is really easy for me to check off the reading in the dark prompt. And since I've already started this book, I figured I would just continue with it and keep it in the TBR, so that's what I'm doing. I think I'm like halfway through it. I'm on page 174, and I really enjoyed Mary by Nat Cassidy, and I've seen a lot of people either really love this one, love it more than Mary, or they liked it but they didn't like it as much as Mary. And I gave Mary 4 stars, so I was very interested to see how my review was gonna come out. But this is basically about a couple that have recently had a baby, and the wife had a very complicated childbirth. She's actually paralyzed because of the complications that she had during childbirth, and she's very like resentful. Obviously she's dealing with a lot, she's very overwhelmed, she has postpartum, like it's just like a lot all at once, and then add on having a really complicated childbirth. She's just having kind of a hard time right now. But her and her husband and the baby, they win this like housing lottery, and they get an apartment in like this beautiful like historic building in New York City, and it's like really wealthy people live there, and it's, you know, it's like the ideal kind of situation. But they're on like the 18th floor, which is obviously very high up, and she is in a wheelchair, so it does make things a lot more complicated. But they move in, and it feels like this is gonna be a fresh start, it's gonna be good. But weird things start happening, and just like, it's really bizarre. I don't know how I feel about it. I like it. I will say that I do feel a little bored sometimes when I'm reading it. I don't know. I think there are some really good things about it. It kind of reminds me of Lock Every Door by Riley Sager, so that's keeping me interested, but I just don't know if I'm like absolutely loving it. So I'm hoping that maybe the second half will turn things around for me and I'll like it more, but I don't know. The husband is really aggravating to me, which honestly isn't surprising. I feel like that's a very common trope in a lot of horror novels, something that I usually just like do not enjoy. So I don't know. I like it. I'm not obsessed with it. We'll see. I'm gonna keep reading it though. We'll see what happens. For the read a book with a W in the title, I'm going with What Waits in the Woods by Terry Parlato, I think is how you pronounce this author's name. I got this from the Aardvark book subscription, and I haven't read it yet. I really like the cover. I don't know much about it. I believe this is about a woman who was a ballet dancer, and she had an injury, and she's moving back home to be with her brother and her dad, and her brother's taking care of her dad, who's I think really sick, and one of her friends from high school ends up dead or something like that. I'm pretty sure. So interested, don't know much about it, haven't heard much, so we'll see. For the read a book with a witch on the cover, I'm gonna go with The Babysitter's Coven by Kate Williams. This is a YA story. I don't know much about this one either, but I know a lot of people love it. It also has purple on the cover, which could count for another prompt, but I'm trying to have a book for each prompt, so we'll see. But yeah, this is a series, I believe, and I've heard it's a lot of fun, and I've had it on my TBR for like 3 years, so I figured I would give it a try. And then for read a book with a snowy setting, I was gonna go with Where the Dead Wait by Allie Wilkes. I had an arc of this. This came out on December 5th of 2023, so I didn't get a chance to read it before it came out. I really like the cover, and I want to read it, but I believe this is like more gothic, so that is kind of hit or miss for me a lot of times. I don't know. This one could get replaced during the week. I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel about it later on, but for right now, this is the one that's gonna fit this prompt. Then for read a book with purple on the cover, I'm gonna go with Soichi by Junji Ito. This is a manga short story collection. I love Junji Ito. I will be honest, I haven't loved the stories in the past that deal with the character Soichi, so I'm not really sure how much I'm gonna actually love this one. It's a little bit more like horror comedy, if I'm honest, and that's usually not really my vibe. So I don't know, but it has purple. You can't even tell. It's not even that purpley, to be fair. It's like more purpley on the spine. But you know what? Whatever. I'm counting it. It doesn't matter. It's got purple right here. You can see the purple, okay? This one also might get switched. I don't know how I feel, but for right now, this is what I'm putting down for purple on the cover. So that's my TBR. It's day 1. I'm going to keep reading Nestlings because that's the one that I'm currently reading and I've already started. So that's what I'm going to be reading for right now. I'm doing sprints tonight with my patrons and Jan from Jan Agaton and her patrons. So we're doing some little winterween sprints with our patrons. So that should be fun. But other than that, that is what I'm going to be doing today. And that is my little intro for winterween, you know, day 1. So let me know what you will be reading, what you've been reading, or what you finished, I guess, because you'll probably be watching this video after you finish winterween, but whatever. Just let me know what you're reading, and hopefully this is fun. So I will check back in probably when I finish Nestlings. Hey friends, I just got some mail and I thought it would be fun to do a little unboxing in this vlog. So I just got my December Twisted Retreat subscription box. This is a horror subscription box and I'm actually a rep for Twisted Retreat now, so you can actually use a code that I have. I'll put it on the screen and also in the description box. It's Erin5. It gets you 5% off of subscriptions or anything else on the site. So basically this is a monthly subscription box. So you can just do the horror book or you can get the box that includes some like horror goodies in it. And it's really, really cool actually, because I feel like a lot of times these horror subscription boxes include things that aren't necessarily like the greatest quality, and I feel like for that price I should get things that I would actually want to display in my house. And I'm actually super impressed with this box. I'm actually so happy. So I wanted to show you like the little goodies I got. I have like some footage that'll show you some like up close things, but yeah, I just wanted to unbox it with you all. But this is the little card that shows what was in the box. So I'll read off of it, but I'm not going to look at it even though I already know what's in it. This is a little tarot card and it's inspired by gremlins, which I think is really cute. It's like the devil tarot card. I really like tarot cards, so I think this is like really, really cute. But first up we have this spatula. It's called the Dracula spatula. Look at how cute this is. And I'm actually currently moving. We are in the middle of moving. We will be in our new place soon, and this, I am so excited to have this for our kitchen because look at how cute this is. I almost hit myself in the face, but like look how cute this is. I'm like so obsessed with this. Like look at how cute. The little nose. Oh my god. I'm like literally obsessed. This is so freaking adorable. I really, really, really like this. I know this is like kind of strange to get really excited about, but I really, 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 really like this. And then we have a Nightmare Before Christmas beanie. It already has Letty's hair all over it because I swear the minute I open something, Letty's hair just sticks to it. But look how cute this is. I actually love beanies. I haven't worn beanies in so long because of my bangs. It's so like weird and awkward to wear beanies with bangs. I feel like I'd have to like pin them back or something. I don't know, but like how cute is this? And I do love Nightmare Before Christmas. It's one of my favorite movies, so I think this is so freaking cute. And then we got a little Gremlins candle, which I love candles. I love collecting candles. I love collecting horror themed candles, and this smells like cinnamon and vanilla, which are two of my favorite scents in candles. I love cinnamon anything because it smells like fall, and I love vanilla just as a scent anywhere. Like I love body sprays that are vanilla. I love anything vanilla scented. It's like so fall, and I love that because I want to live in a world where it's fall 24/7. So this is perfect because then I can put this candle on and pretend it's fall. Oh, we also get a little snack. I forgot because I got excited about all the other stuff that I forgot. But it's a That's It Apples and Cranberries mini fruit bar, which is really cute. I feel like that would be actually really good as a little snack you can put in your purse if you're like, you know, going somewhere and you don't know if you're gonna have like food. This is gonna be good to have in case you need something to eat. This is a Silent Hill face mist, which I think is really cute. It comes in this little pouch, which looks like this, which is very, very cute. It also has like a little strap attached to it, and then you can like pop the face mist out, and you could reuse this as something else if you wanted to, like hand sanitizer, or you could put another face mist in it or something like that. So it's definitely like something you could also throw in your bag, and then if you needed to like spritz your face and just like have a little refresh, and then you could literally just reuse it as something else and then keep it in your bag for like whatever you decide to use it as. I think that's cool. And this is a Haunting of Hill House campfire mug. Look at how cute this is. This is perfect. You could put like hot chocolate in it or whatever. It has one of those like slide lips, which is really, really cool. Oh my god, this is gonna be so freaking cute to use. You could use this for whatever, tea, coffee, hot chocolate, apple cider, like literally you could put whatever you want in here and it would just be like the like perfect little mug. That's so cute. So then we have a little spice rack, and these are called the Haunted Jars. Look at how cute this is. Again, we are moving, so this is going to be perfect to use in the kitchen. It's so adorable. It has a little jar for garlic. It says warding off the night, and it says Salem's Lot on it. This one is for cinnamon. It says Witch's Enchantment, the Craft. This one is salt. It says Guardian of the Sacred Barrier, The Exorcist. And then this one says Rosemary, Cradling Dark Secrets from Rosemary's Baby. So look at how cute this is. Little horror themed spice jars. How freaking cute is this? I love this. I am so excited to put this and the little Dracula spatula in my kitchen. Like, how cute are they going to be? This is what I'm talking about. These are actually useful, and like I actually want to put them in my new place, and I feel like a lot of subscription boxes kind of put things that I'm not that interested in or excited about. So I love this. And then the last and final thing, which is probably the most exciting, is the horror book, and this is Through a Glass Darkly by W.H. Hussey. I have never heard of this book. I have never seen anyone talking about it. I don't know anything about it, but this is like the special cover, which I think is really, really pretty. But also look at these sprayed edges. The only other book I have with sprayed edges is my copy of Frankenstein, which has black sprayed edges. This is what the back looks like. And then on the inside of the book, it looks like this. How beautiful. And then when you take the dust jacket off, look at it! Oh my gosh. It's so beautiful. Look at that. Look at how stunning this is. This is actually such a beautiful edition of a book. Let me look at what this book is actually about. Steeped in classic horror, this chilling contemporary tale deals with secrets long buried, festering guilt, and haunting loneliness. Jack Trent, the most effective criminal investigation officer in the history of the department, is having bad dreams of a child's murder in a forest at the hands of something indescribable. But these are more than nightmares. They are visions of the future that Jack has tried for years to suppress. Something happened to Jack in his childhood, something that means he cannot touch another living person, and something that killed his mother, and this something has returned to inspire his visions. In a final race against time, Jack attempts to save a boy's life in the clearing of Red Grave Forest. Can he face the long-dead Dr. Mendicant and the ancient darkness of Crow Haven? Can he face the evil living inside himself, and what will he make of the Doctor's final devastating revelation? That sounds very interesting. Again, never heard of this at all. This is from Cemetery Dance though, which is really, really cool. Very, very beautiful. Just a stunning, stunning book, like honestly. Oh, it's actually signed too. I didn't even notice. It's actually signed as well. How freaking cool. Yeah, like this is actually an incredible box to get. I'm super, super, super impressed. And I'm so excited to be a rep now. Like, I think this is so awesome, and I can't wait to see what the next few boxes hold. Again, I have a code. It's Erin5 if you want 5% off subscriptions or anything else on the site. So definitely go check them out. I'll have them linked and my code down below. But yeah, such an incredible unboxing. I'm so, so excited. So this is an embarrassing check-in because it is day 4 of Winterween and I have not checked in since day 1. It's Monday and I had kind of a really busy weekend and I just didn't really read or do much except for pre-film videos, and then Sunday I had a live with my patrons, and I also started packing because I am currently in the middle of getting ready to move now. So I really didn't read a lot and I just haven't checked in for Winterween. I'm still hoping that I can get this readathon done. I'm really hoping. I think I'm gonna just have to kind of move around my TBR a little bit, but I did finish Nestlings and I have very mixed thoughts about this one. I know a lot of people really, really love this book, and I can see why. It definitely is like a vampire, Rosemary's Baby, lock every door kind of thing going on, and I did enjoy most of the book. I would say the first half of the book didn't really excite me. I was kind of bored. It has a lot of motherhood talk, which I've talked about this before, but motherhood in horror or like, you know, talking about kids, it's not really my favorite thing, mostly because it's just not something I can relate to. I don't want kids. I don't want to have children. I don't want to be a mother. So books that have like a very heavy focus on motherhood are just really hard for me to connect to. So the first half of this book didn't really do much for me. It was a little bit slow. I thought it was a lot of focus on motherhood and I just wasn't that invested in anything. I will say the second half did get more fun and I was more invested in the story and what was going on, and I felt like it just got better, honestly. I still think the husband is absolutely terrible in this book. He was probably one of the most frustrating parts of this book for me, which I'm sure is the point, but I just hate characters like him. They drive me insane when I'm reading it. So I'm very unsure because I really liked the ending and I thought the second half was much better than the first half. I still think Mary is better, honestly. I'm gonna be in that camp. I think I'm more of a Mary fan than a Nestlings fan, so I think that's just how I feel. I still enjoyed the book. If you had asked me while I was halfway through reading it, I would have said I'm gonna give it like a 3 or a 3.5, but because I did like the second half a little bit more and it got more entertaining, I think I am gonna give it 4 stars, which is kind of frustrating because I gave Mary 4 stars, but I do like Mary more. I do think Mary is better overall. Mary was just like a little bit long for me, and there were a lot of things going on in Mary, so it kind of got a little tricky at times. I just think Mary worked better for me. But I think this is just a me thing, honestly. I just think this didn't really work for me. I love Rosemary's Baby and I do get the similarities, and again, that is some of the stuff that I actually really did enjoy. The vampire stuff was interesting because it was very different, but I did like the way it was done as well. So again, I think it was just a me thing. I don't think it was anything like the author did wrong or like the writing style necessarily. It was just like some of the things I don't particularly care for in horror is what was in the book. It did have disability rep in it though, and I thought that was really cool. Yeah, I do enjoy this book. It's not like a new favorite for me. Like some people, I know some people absolutely loved this book, but yeah, I enjoyed it, just not to the extent that other people did. So for the prompt of read a book with W in the title, I am reading What Waits in the Woods by Terry Parlato. I barely started this. I'm like 50 pages in, so I'm not anywhere near even having much to say about this book. But this does alternate POVs, which, you know, sometimes really works, sometimes doesn't, so I'll be interested to see how I feel. As of right now, one of the POVs, which is Rita, I'm not that crazy about. She's a detective, I believe. I just don't like the detective point of view or like cop characters. It's just not something that I enjoy. But Esme's character I am enjoying so far. She's a ballet dancer and she is now moving back home. She hasn't been home since she graduated high school. She had an injury, I believe, while she was a ballet dancer, so she can't dance anymore. And her brother is taking care of her father. Her father's an alcoholic and he's also like really sick. So her brother's taking care of her dad, and when she comes home, she sees that there's a bunch of cop cars around her father's house, and when she walks in to see what's going on, her best friend from high school was actually found dead in the woods in their backyard. Nothing too crazy. Again, I don't have much to say about it because I'm only 50 pages in, but I am still trying to finish Winterween. That is the goal, but I also have to pack and edit and do other stuff, so reading isn't my first priority right now, unfortunately, but I am going to try and do my best and keep going. We'll see, but that is where I'm at for day 4. I'll check in when I know a little bit more about this book or I have more to say about it.
Told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, 'cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals.
Okay, time for another check-in. It is day 6 of winterween. I haven't checked in since day 4 of winterween. Basically, I'm not doing very well with this readathon. Packing while trying to do a readathon is much harder than I anticipated. So I've just now finished my second book for the readathon, and that is What Waits in the Woods. I didn't love this. The cover is beautiful. The cover is what drew me. I picked this for my Aardvark book subscription pick for last month, I think, and I didn't know much about it, but I liked the cover, I liked the title. I was like, could be something I'll like. It reminds me a lot of What Lies in the Woods by Kate Alice Marshall. It kind of has a lot of similarities, just like the main character and certain like circumstances, I guess. It's not like identical, but a lot of it did kind of like remind me of that book, which I actually liked that book. I gave it 4 stars. I did find some of it predictable, but I did enjoy it for the most part. This one I found super, super, super predictable. I felt like the writing wasn't my favorite. I also feel like the 2 POVs hindered the book for me. The one POV that was like the cop, the detective, I just really didn't get the point of their perspective being included. I felt like she was kind of a terrible detective and her job was like not being done ever. Like, I just felt like she never did anything. So I didn't feel like her perspective added anything to the story except taking away from the other character, Esme. And I liked her perspective more. Like, her being a ballerina and stuff, I found way more interesting. So that was slightly infuriating because the POVs do alternate almost every chapter. Sometimes you get 2 chapters with the same POV, but most of the time it's alternating. So I would get annoyed when it was the detective because I just didn't care and I felt like this POV was really pointless. So that was frustrating. Yeah, predictable. I guess the ending a mile away. It wasn't that shocking to me. Yeah, I feel like it's a very standard average thriller. I believe this is the author's debut, so I mean that's not super surprising in my opinion that this felt just kind of average. So yeah, I wasn't thrilled by this one, unfortunately. I think I'm gonna give it like 3 stars. It held my attention enough. It kept me reading and I did finish it, so it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't anything like super special. And now because I'm running out of time, I think I'm gonna count this next book for 2 prompts. I was only going to count it for 1 originally, even though it did count for 2, but again, I'm not doing very well in terms of finishing this readathon, so I'm reading The Babysitter's Coven by Kate Williams. This is the book I chose for Witch on the Cover, but it also has purple on the cover, so I'm just gonna double up here and make it count for both because, again, there's like only today and tomorrow left of the readathon. Tomorrow's the last day, so I feel like I might as well just get as much as I can done. This is a YA about the main character Esme, which is the same character that was in my last book's name, but she is a 17-year-old in high school and she has this like babysitters club with her best friend. She really likes babysitting and she has fun while doing it. It's like her favorite kind of high school job. She doesn't really want any other job where she has to like work at the mall or, you know, wear a uniform or do anything like that. So she really likes babysitting. But all these like weird things are happening to her. Like she makes things move by just thinking about it and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. I'm not that far. I think I'm only like 79 pages into the book. So I just started it last night, but it is YA, so I feel like I'll be able to read it at a fairly quick pace. I would say I'm not really in the mood for it right now, which kind of sucks, but I would say I'm not really in the mood for any book right now. I'm just so tired. Moving is like taking a lot out of me, and I just feel constantly exhausted. And look at my poor background. It's just like in shambles now. So this readathon has been hard for me to focus on because of my other stuff that I'm dealing with, and I feel like I'm like constantly trying to figure out how to balance, and I'm not doing very well. I'm gonna try to get as far as I can into the Babysitter's Coven and hopefully squeeze one more book in, because I still need a snowy setting or a winter setting for that prompt. I haven't read anything for that, so I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna get all the prompts done. I'm gonna try my best though. This vlog is probably gonna be like not that interesting or not that fun. Yeah, that's where I'm at. That's the update. I'm trying my best. We'll see. That's the update. So I will talk to you all when I have more to update on.
Up in my brain, all of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay? Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you, but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today.
Happy last day of winterween, my friends. So I actually think that I might finish the readathon. I was very unsure and very hesitant while I started filming this week and packing and stuff. It just got so hectic. I haven't had a lot of time to read lately, so I feel like I'm like racing against the clock to finish this readathon. But last night I did finish the Babysitter's Coven. I didn't hate this. I think the idea is very cute. It reminds me a lot of Buffy, and I did enjoy some of it, but like I didn't really love the characters, and I felt like the writing was very YA, like very, very, very YA. And I just kind of lost interest about well, actually I lost interest when I started reading the book, to be honest. I realized I didn't really want to read this when I started reading it, but I didn't want to switch to another book for this prompt, and it ticked off 2 prompts, and since I was so behind, I was like, yeah, why not? Like, let's just keep it moving. And since it had been on my TBR for so long, I just figured it was the best decision, so I just kind of kept reading it, but I wasn't like overly excited to read it. I thought some of it was like kind of boring. I thought it took a really long time to get really interesting. I thought like the witch magic part was pretty cool, but like, I don't know. It just didn't really do much for me. I wasn't like overly excited while reading this one, and I don't know. The writing, it just felt a little too juvenile at times, and like, I don't know. I just didn't love it. I don't know. There was just so many things about it that like felt very lackluster to me, and I feel like it's probably a 3-star. It's very average. It's very just like, yeah, it was fine. I don't think I would pick up the others in the series, which sucks because I really do like this cover, and I think the rest of the series does look fun, but if I didn't like the first book, I just don't know how much I would enjoy the rest of them. So it was an okay time. It didn't take too long to read because it was YA, but yeah, I wasn't like super duper excited to read it. And I ended up switching books for this prompt. This is the last prompt that I have to fulfill, which is a snowy setting or set during winter, and I decided to change the book because the other one was just so big and I didn't really feel like reading it. So I'm trying to really hurry and finish so I can actually successfully complete Winterween. So I decided to go with 5 Total Strangers by Natalie D. Richards. This is another YA. When I first picked this up, I thought it was similar to like No Exit. At least the idea of it seemed similar to No Exit. But basically this is about the main character, Mira, who is trying to get home for Christmas. And she lands from her flight and finds out that her next flight is canceled and there's a huge blizzard coming. So she's like really stressed out because she really needs to get home. And she kind of made friends with the girl sitting next to her on the plane, Harper, and they kind of had like a little friendly banter going on during the flight. So Harper tells Mira that she's renting a car and she's going to drive. So if she wants to get in the car with her, she'll drop her home. And Mira wasn't going to accept, but then she realized how stuck she was, and like she just decided her need to get home was bigger than like fear of getting into a car with strange people. She meets up with Harper again. There's like 4 other people coming along in the car, and Harper introduces them, and Mira thinks they're all friends. So she kind of agrees because she already knows Harper, and she's like, that should be fine. She gets in the car. The roads are bad. Like, it's like a 6-hour drive, and it's gonna be like double that because it's just such bad weather. And she finds out that they're actually all strangers. They actually do not know each other at all. So, you know, very sketchy, very suspicious. It kind of reminds me of No Exit and Survive the Night by Riley Sager. I feel like those two combined kind of make this book a little bit. I don't know. So I'm excited to read it. I've heard very mixed things. I know some people absolutely hate it and some people really liked it. I'm on page 62, chapter 6. I just started it last night before bed after I finished The Babysitter's Coven, so I didn't have too much time to read this, but I am going to be reading all day, so hopefully I get this done and then I can check off Winterween. And I actually did it, even though packing was literally consuming all my free time. Hopefully finish it today. I feel like it should go by pretty fast since it is YA. So yes, I'm gonna keep reading and I will update you when I finish it.
Promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away. As you fade away.
Hello friends, it is the day after the last day of Winterween, but I used up basically the entire day of Winterween to finish my last book, which is 5 Total Strangers by Natalie D. Richards. I'm pretty sure I already told you all that in the previous check-in, but also we have a guest. Letty's in my lap. She didn't want to sit next to me. She wanted to sit on me, so she's gonna be here while I talk about this book. But I did finish this, and I know this book has a bad reputation. I mean, I've seen some really positive reviews, but I've also seen some really negative reviews, and I know a lot of people don't love this book, but honestly, I had a lot of fun with it. It wasn't like the best thriller I've ever read. Like, is this anything like super groundbreaking or like wild and crazy? Not really. It reminds me of a mixture between No Exit and Survive the Night, and personally I loved No Exit and I actually really enjoyed Survive the Night. I also know that's a super unpopular opinion, but I had a fun time with that book and I thought it was enjoyable and entertaining. I know everyone pretty much hates it, but I liked it, and this does remind me of those two books. So for me, I think this was just like a really entertaining, easy, fun read. I'm also someone that like absolutely hates driving, but especially I hate driving in bad weather. Like, I have really bad driving anxiety. That's why I don't drive. This book made me anxious because them driving in this blizzard and this like extremely bad weather like got my heart palpitating because I don't like that. It makes me super nervous, and so I think that added to the enjoyment level, I guess. I know that sounds weird. I shouldn't enjoy a book that makes me feel, you know, that nervous, but it was fun and it was enjoyable. It also doesn't help that we're about to get a snowstorm this weekend. I'm kind of reading this at like the worst time possible for me and like my mental health, but that's, you know, not what we're talking about. So I did enjoy this book. I will say that the reveal isn't that exciting. I think it was kind of a lame reveal. I think the explanation for everything is kind of not as thought out as I would have liked it to be, or as interesting, I guess. I feel like it's really obvious. Again, there's only so many people that it can be in this book, so I feel like your chances are better in this kind of situation when you have a little group of people to pick from. But yeah, I don't think that it was that shocking or that surprising or that like, whoa, crazy, you know? So that's like the only downside for me, was I would have liked a little bit more in terms of reasoning, motive, explanation, person who did everything. I just feel like that could have been a little bit better, but overall I think the book is good. It reads really quick, it's fast, it's easy, so I don't know, I think it just worked for me. This is probably the best book I read for winterween. Honestly, it was the most enjoyable. It was the one that I liked the absolute most, which I know is probably shocking to people who loved nestlings, but I just wasn't like the biggest fan of nestlings for the first half, and the second half I did enjoy. So I think this one overall I was more into and invested in the entire time. So for those reasons, this was probably my favorite read of winterween. I'm gonna give it 4 stars because I just feel like I can't give it any higher than 4, but I don't want to get it any lower than 4. So alright, and that is going to be it for my winterween reading vlog. It was a little bumpy. I wasn't sure that I was going to finish this. I wasn't sure that I was actually going to complete winterween, but I did it. I'm very proud of myself. It was not smooth sailing at all. The books weren't all the best, but I completed it, and that's all that really matters to me, and it was fun, and I'm thankful that Gabby put winterween together for us all to do, because this was like really fun, and I loved the witchy theme. It was just like a really cool theme. So overall, really happy I participated and I actually finished it and it worked out. So that's gonna do it for this winterween vlog. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Also, let me know what you read for winterween, what books you liked, what books you didn't like. I would love to know in the comments down below. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. I also have a Patreon linked down in the description box. We can become friends, talk about books, horrifying books, thrilling books, romance books, manga, all that good fun stuff. And with that being said, I hope you're having a great day, night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!